This nigga Deontay Wilder is delusional, people. Now he's claiming that if he beats Tyson Fury, he's going to deserve a 60-40 split in his favor. In other words, he would be receiving 60% of the purse and Joshua 40% of the purse. There's absolutely no way that's going to happen, because what Deontay Wilder fails to realize is Deontay Wilder is not a pay-per-view star. This is the biggest difference between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder keeps thinking that he is a massive pay-per-view star. He has a massive fan base. He draws a massive crowd. He draws a massive attendance. This is the biggest difference in Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, and when it comes to the purse split, okay, is the fact that who draws the bigger crowd, who sells more tickets. It's not Deontay Wilder, it's Anthony Joshua, but Deontay Wilder believes it's him. Deontay Wilder doesn't earn the money that Anthony Joshua earns because Anthony Joshua sells out more crowds. More people pay to watch him fight live. More people pay pay-per-view to watch him. This is why he earns so much more money than Deontay Wilder. This is why he's much more of a bigger draw, because of the fact that he is basically just he has a bigger fan base. That's basically what it is. He has a bigger fan base than Deontay Wilder. This is why he is going to be receiving the higher percentage of the purse, realistically. Because when you look at the history of boxing, when you look at the cash cows, whenever they're fighting, it doesn't matter if they're fighting the champion, the cash cows always get the higher percentage of the purses. When it comes to these big unification fights that everybody wants to see, the cash cows, the people who earn the most money in their division, they always get the higher percentage of the purse. I mean, Canelo Alvarez fought Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin was the unified middleweight champion of the world, right? You would think he would be receiving more money, but the guy who was receiving more money was Canelo Alvarez, because Alvarez had the bigger fan base. Alvarez sold more tickets. Alvarez was a pay-per-view star. Gennady Golovkin wasn't a pay-per-view star. Alvarez had fought on pay-per-view several times. He had a massive fan base, a massive following, right? He sold many tickets, right? He was the draw in the fight. So even though Gennady Golovkin was and held the belts, he didn't have the fan base that Canelo Alvarez had. So what happened when they fought? Who got the higher percentage? Canelo Alvarez, not what's his name, Gennady Golovkin. You would think Gennady Golovkin would get the higher percentage of the purse split because he was the unified champion and Canelo Alvarez wasn't. But like I said, Canelo Alvarez he earned the high percentage of the money. He was the cash cow when it came to the both of them at middleweight. This is why every time Canelo Alvarez fights someone, you ever notice how he always gets the bigger purse out of the two? He always makes the more money out of the two. The same thing went for Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he was fighting. He always got the bigger split of the purse. You never saw an opponent of Floyd Mayweather Jr. get a higher percentage of the purse than he did, get a bigger split. Why? Because he was always the cash cow. He was the pay-per-view star. He was the one who sold millions of pay-per-view buys. He was the one for the longest time. Even when Canelo Alvarez fought him, he got the higher percentage of the purse, Floyd Mayweather Jr., because at the time he was a bigger star. He was a bigger pay-per-view star than Canelo Alvarez. After Floyd Mayweather Jr. retired, Canelo Alvarez took over as the pay-per-view king. But before him, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the pay-per-view king. Again, when it comes to these pay-per-view cash cows, or these big cash cows in the division, they always end up getting the more higher percentage of the purse, because they have a bigger draw, because they're the ones who bring the fan. Because when boxing fans pay to watch a boxing event, they pay to watch them. So therefore, when if Deontay Wilder does fight Anthony Joshua, the pay-per-view buys that are going to be sold on that is going to be based on the millions of pay-per-view buys that is going to be sold on that is going to be based on Anthony Joshua fans paying to watch their man Anthony Joshua beat Deontay Wilder. It's all based on that. That's just the reality. Is, you know how they always say boxing is a business, and that's just the truth. Boxing is the business, and Deontay Wilder's not a draw. This is why I'm saying, at least Deontay Wilder is saying that he'll get a 50-50 split. But like I said, even that is a little bit outrageous, because again, Deontay Wilder is still, you know, even if he beats Tyson Fury, he's still not a draw. This is what people need to understand. He's still not a pay-per-view draw. He still doesn't have a massive fan base. So this is the issue. This is the issues with the negotiating tables. This is the issues with Eddie Hearn having issues with giving Deontay Wilder a demand of 50-50 split because of the fact that he's not a draw. So they feel like, why am I going to give Deontay Wilder 50-50 split, or, you know, especially 60-40 split, you know, of the purse when he's not a draw? He's not the guy who brings the fan. Joshua is the guy who's going to bring the fanfare, not him. So this is why it's difficult for them to, because when it comes to any division, all the guys who always end up getting the high percentage of the purses is always the basically the cash cow of the division. Just like Canelo Alvarez always gets the higher percentage of the purses, just like Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he was fighting, he was always getting the higher percentage of the purses. Even Manny Pacquiao, when he was in his prime, he was always getting higher percentage because these guys are the cash cows. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Subscribe for latest boxing, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.